the biggest IPO in market history just happened, and SpaceX surged nearly 20% on one day. Well, they did surge over 25% on the day, as far as I remember, but they closed the day on nearly a 20% surge on the day, exactly at 19.22% on the day. And today, we're going to be breaking down the SpaceX IPO, the biggest headlines from day one, and what drove the stock higher, and what investors should be watching next. So let's jump right into it, guys. And what happened today? We saw SpaceX. It officially began trading under the ticker symbol SPCX, and immediately became one of the most talked about stocks in the market. And the company priced its IPO at $1.35 per share, and it opened around $150 and finished the day nearly at $161 on the day, and it traded as low as $149 all the way up to $176.52. Now, with that being said, that gave SpaceX a market capitalization above $2 trillion at session highs and instantly placed it among the largest companies in the world. Now, why the stock for SpaceX jumped were for several reasons. First off, retail demand was absolutely crazy. According to the reports, approximately 30% of the IPO allocation went to retail investors through platforms such as Robinhood, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, SoFi, and E-Trade. That's significantly higher than what we normally see in traditional IPOs. And as a result, buying pressure was intense straight from the opening bell. And investors, they aren't just buying a rocket company, and that's what they believe when they invest and trade SPCX. This is one of the biggest misconceptions, one of the biggest misconceptions regarding SPCX is the fact that investors, since they're not simply buying rocket launches, they're buying exposure to several major growth businesses under one umbrella. Because a few things that you have, as I mentioned in a previous video, you have Falcon launches, Starship development, Starlink, national security contracts, satellite communications, and AI infrastructure through XAI integration. Now, for many investors, SpaceX has become a combination of a space company, an AI company, a telecommunications company, and a defense contractor all at the same time. And there are people that were divided within the market, because there were some people that were more bullish and some people that were more bearish regarding the SpaceX IPO. So from the bull side of things, the reasons why bullish investors were willing to pay such a premium valuation was because the argument was Starlink is continuing to expand globally and launch demand continues to remain strong. Also, Starship could potentially transform space transportation, and there's also AI infrastructure demand that continues to grow. And supporters believe SpaceX is positioned at the center of multiple trillion-dollar industries. Now, on the flip side, you got the bear case of things. And not everyone agrees with the valuation of SPCX, because some analysts argue that the stock is becoming extremely expensive. Hey guys, it's David with InvestQ, and a lot of the research and stock discussions actually happen in my free InvestQ community before the videos even come out. I post weekly CTM updates, quantum stock coverage, daily watch lists, and fast breaking news reactions throughout the week. And if you want to stay ahead of what I'm watching in the market, feel free to join the free InvestQ community. First link in the description below. And reports, they suggest that SPCX is trading around 100 times revenue depending on the estimates being used. And for comparison, that's well above most mature aerospace and defense companies. And critics are arguing that investors may be getting caught up in excitement surrounding Elon Musk, AI, and space exploration. Now, what this means for individual space stocks. one of the most interesting developments is not necessarily just SPCX itself. It's the fact that what happens to the broader space sector as a whole. And historically, when investors pay attention, when investor attention starts to increase into a specific industry, that's when capital often floods and is flowing into the related companies. So basically, since SPCX is a space company, typically additional capital starts to flow into other individual space stocks as well. And certain stocks that we cover and I'm talking about right now are Rocket Lab, Redwire, Black Sky, Intuitive Machines, and don't forget about Planet Labs as well. Now, what I'm going to be watching going forward is there are three things that I personally will be watching. It's the fact that, first off, I want to know if SpaceX can maintain momentum after the IPO excitement fades. The second thing I want to be looking at is how will future earnings and financial disclosures impact investor expectations? And third, does this IPO create a broader rally across the entire space sector? Because if capital continues flowing into space stocks, today's IPO could end up being bigger than just one company. Now, in closing together, guys, SpaceX officially made history today because the stock surged nearly 20% at the close and briefly pushed the company above a $2 trillion valuation and has become one of the largest publicly traded companies in the world right now. So the big question is the big question you should not be asking is what happened today. The real question is what will happen next. And I want to know in the comment section below, do you think that SpaceX deserves a $2 trillion valuation? Comment below if you do believe yes or no. And also feel free to let me know what you want to see in future upcoming videos. And also, if you do feel I added any value to your investing journey, please feel free to hit the like and subscribe button, as I do appreciate the support from you guys. But with that being said, guys, David with InvestQ out. Stay safe, keep making good decisions with your long-term portfolios, and I'll see you on the next video.